Nowadays, there's a lot of talk about vaccines, both good and bad. Why you should be vaccinated, why you shouldn't be vaccinated, what they might cause, what they might not prevent. But there's not really a lot of talk on what they are and how they prevent diseases. I've done a lot of research on this topic on vaccinations, and I'm excited to share with you the details. So let me begin by explaining what vaccinations are made of. There are several different types of vaccines. All of them work very similarly to one another. All of the vaccinations, all types, contain real versions of the germs that carry the diseases that the vaccinations are meant to prevent. So according to the CDC, the list of the different types of vaccinations are live vaccinations, which contain live versions of the germs that have been weakened so they don't actually cause danger and damage to you. There's inactivated vaccinations, which contain germs that have been killed during the vaccine making process. There's toxoid vaccinations, which once they're administered into the body, the bacteria creates a toxin that, like the live vaccinations, have been weakened so that they don't prevent real damage. There's also subunit vaccinations, which just contain partial amounts of the germs that the diseases the vaccinations are preventing. So most vaccinations are administered with a syringe. According to the CDC, some vaccinations can be made to be taken orally, and there is one vaccination that you can even take nasally through your nose. Some of these vaccinations do require multiple doses before they become effective in preventing diseases. An example of this would be the flu shot, which you are supposed to and should get every single year. So now that you know what vaccinations are made of and how they are administered, let me tell you about how they work to prevent diseases. The vaccinations, germs that they send into your body, help build immunity against those actual real diseases. The body sends antibodies to attack these germs. So the vaccine creates a fake infection that isn't harmful, it doesn't create a real illness, but the body sends antibodies and white blood cells to help defend against this attack. The body sends these white blood cells and antibodies, and these fake infections can sometimes cause fever, but it's nothing compared to the actual real symptoms of the disease that the vaccination prevents. So these antibodies and these white blood cells keep memory of those germs and those diseases. The white blood cells store memory so that they can, if they are ever introduced to that real disease, they know how to fight it and they know how to be strong against it. Sometimes it does take several weeks for the vaccinations to become effective against the disease, which is why some people can still get infected if they were exposed to that illness before or soon after being vaccinated. So according to the CDC, there is something called community immunity. It also goes by the name of herd immunity, and this just means basically the more vaccinated, the better for everybody. Basically, the more that are immunized against these diseases, the less likely to be infected around them. This is why the CDC does push for everybody to be vaccinated that are able, because some people, their immune systems don't quite work the same way as others, and they don't accept the vaccinations, they don't become immune to those diseases. Another problem is that babies and children do run high risk of becoming infected by diseases that they are not yet old enough to receive vaccinations for, as well as people who have certain health conditions that cannot get vaccinations. So that would explain the community immunity. The more that are immunized against that disease, the less likely they are to spread it to those people that cannot be vaccinated. So to summarize, vaccines contain the germs that are found in diseases and give the body antibodies, the ability to become immune to those viruses and bacteria. So to conclude my presentation, I have explained what vaccines are made of, how they are administered, and how they work to prevent diseases. While there is a lot of speculation about whether or not vaccinations are helpful or harmful, there is a lot of science backing up the usefulness and helpfulness and success of vaccinations, including the statistics you can find on the CDC that compare epidemic sizes before vaccinations compared to epidemic sizes now, which are almost non-existent for most of these diseases that vaccinations have been made to prevent. Thank you.